robbed, and shot. Monday morning, under my window, a Porsche Carrera was carjacked. The robberies, carjackings, and shootings appear to be out of control in the city, and so much of this, sir, is in your jurisdiction. The mayor has called it a juvenile crime emergency. Last year, there were 1,400 juvenile arrests, and 56% of those who were arrested had guns. These are kids, these are children with guns. 16 juveniles were killed, 88 were wounded. 75% of those arrested for carjackings last year were kids, were children. And people are questioning, where is the prosecution? Last week, one juvenile tried to carjack a car from a woman everyone called Grandma. And the people in the neighborhood stopped him and beat the snot out of him. You got street justice there because they don't trust the police or you to do anything about it. 2 weeks ago, Angie Craig, on her way to Capitol Hill to vote, an LGBT congresswoman, was assaulted in her own apartment house, and she said, somewhat incorrectly, that the person who assaulted her had 12 assaults previously and was still out on the street. That wasn't true. She had 12 other cases. They weren't all assaults. But there is this growing belief, sir, and I'm not one of those who wants to lock everybody up or anything like that. It terrifies me where this is going, that people don't believe that it's anything but catch and release, that people getting away with this kind of stuff, that there's no prosecution. This is becoming a national story. Fox is on it. The Republicans in the Hill are on it. They're going to use this politically against us. And it's just, tell me, and here's my question. God knows it took too long. But do you believe that things are going well now? And if not, what are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to stop this perception that it's catch and release? When are you going to say, okay, we're going to allow the Washington Post or Council or somebody to know what is the final way these cases are adjudicated? And let me give you one perfect example, and I'll finish with this. And this was one where I became involved in this as part of the LGBT community. A gang of between 10 and 15 kids set upon two young gay men on U Street and beat the hell out of them, called them all kinds of homophobic names, and broke the bones around one of their eyes. We never found out what happened to the kids, the three who were arrested. The rumor was that they had to write a paper. There's no trust, sir, in consequence. It breaks my heart because it plays to those who want to lock everybody up. I'm sorry if I had to spill my guts, sir, but it scares the hell out of me.
I so appreciate you sharing.
I have my next I have my next meeting.
Okay.
Right now, because I'm a volunteer and so I'm trying my best for my elected neighbors. But
Before
that's
you
the
go,
thing.
let
Do
me
you
say this.
have the legislative text that you want Council Member Pinto's office to change?
Say again?
Do you have the recommended verbiage that you want changed in the legislative text around the anonymous, around the confidentiality?
No.
Are you going to develop that? Are you open to community advocates volunteering to be part of that process?
Absolutely. That's
Good.
why I'm here to listen.
Good.
Okay.
I'm gone, but get it on the record. Thank you. Thank you. Wish me luck.
Sir,
Yeah.
so you're saying you made the question to AG on what increase in hate crimes in the neighborhood. And so it's really bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's happening all the time. Yeah. So we had, for instance, 5 of them happen this past summer.
Yeah.
White gay men.
Yeah.
And those get reported because the white guys call the newspapers.
Yeah.
And that's why it gets in the papers. But when it happens to lesbians or people of color, it's not getting reported. We have black teenagers coming to this neighborhood looking for guys like me. So me and my neighbors are walking down the street.
So
when
90
we see a teenager.
So,
I don't want to be that.
so
way.
gay bashing of 20 years ago is now back in fashion, you're saying?
It's looking the same way, and we can't. They won't even give us things. This one was hard for us to get. You can have that.
Okay.
Office in the police department. We have had meetings with MPD, and for example, when Commissioner Slatt brought up the papering, MPD has defended themselves by saying, well, we're arresting them, and they're just letting them back out on the street. That's literally what they say. And so I think there needs to be a conversation between your office and MPD. I'm sure it's happening, but to the point of we need to be working together and maybe get our talking points together, but also be effectively working together.
And it scares the hell out of me too. It's, look, you know, any crime is one too many, particularly any crime involving young people, whether they're the victim of a crime or the perpetrator of a crime. And I can promise you that there's nothing more important to me or the people who are working in the Office of Attorney General to figure out how we deal with